Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you guys how to clean, like thoroughly clean and condition restore a vintage Coach bags. If you've watched my videos before, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I absolutely love vintage Coach bags. I've done a couple of videos before on vintage Coach bags. I did a video about the vintage Coach quart bag, and then I also recently did vintage Coach collection video. So in that video, I asked you guys if you would like to see a video about how I restore, clean, and condition my vintage Coach bags, and a lot of you said that you wanted to see a video like that, so I thought I would make that video for you guys today. One of the new bags that I picked up is this one, which I absolutely love. This is the Coach Regina bag. I don't know what the style number is off the top of my head. It is the 9983. So this is the Coach 9983 Regina bag. It's just super cute. It has like a little turn lock closure on the front. And then a little handle, and then it has a removable strap. So I actually bought this bag in both a navy blue and a black. I got the black one first, but then I saw the navy blue one and I really liked it, so I ended up just getting both. I'm probably going to end up selling one of these. But since I just got this one in, I haven't cleaned it at all yet. I wanted to wait to make this video for you guys so I could show you from beginning to end how I like thoroughly clean and restore a vintage Coach bag. Now, the one that I have here isn't in too bad of condition. It's not, you know, I mean, there's like some scratches and scuffs on it, but you know, nothing super major. But this one is definitely not as clean as some of the other ones that I've gotten. So I'll show you guys, like, it's kind of gross, but there are some gum wrappers in here, and then usually the inside is actually pretty clean, but the back pocket does have some stuff. And then I just like to do like a thorough clean of like any vintage Coach bag that I get, regardless of whether or not it looks clean. Just so that I know it's completely clean. And then also, you know, even if a bag looks clean on the inside, sometimes there might be some like lint or, you know, dirt, dust that's collected at the bottom that you can't really see because the inside of these vintage Coach bags are all unlined. So it's kind of hard to tell if it's like dirty or not. And also, just really quickly, I do have a blog post about this up on my blog as well. It's not going to go through the information as thoroughly as I did in this video, but it's going to have the basic steps and all of the products that I use that I'm going to mention in this video. And the reason why I also did a blog post is just for you guys as like a quick reference guide. That way when you're actually cleaning your bag, you don't have to come back to this video, try to find the part that you're looking for. You can just go to the blog post, and then I'll have photos there and quick and brief step-by-step guide with just the absolute essentials that you need to know for cleaning and restoring your Coach bag. So definitely check that out. I will have my blog and that blog post linked down in the description box below. So if you guys want the links to the products that I mentioned in this video, then definitely check out that blog post. So the first thing I do when I get the bag in is I take a vacuum and I completely vacuum the inside. The vacuum that I use is this little handheld vacuum by Black & Decker. I've had this thing for years. I bought it off Amazon. This is just like the regular vacuum we use around the house just for, you know, small messes. And this one works perfectly. This little like head part does pull out, so it's like a little bit thinner up here, and then, you know, it just goes right into the bag, and it also fits into the pockets. And then I just vacuum up all of the, you know, random stuff inside, and even if I don't see anything, like I said, I'll still just give it a vacuum. That way I can just make sure it's picking up any like lint or dirt or dust that I can't see. Now, I personally like to vacuum the bag first before I actually wash the bag, because I feel like if you don't vacuum it first through the process of washing it, sometimes I just feel like the like dirt or dust, lint gets kind of like, I don't know, like mashed into the leather, or, you know, it gets wet, it sticks to the leather, and then it dries more into the leather. I feel like when you first get a bag, you know, all of the dirt and dust is kind of loose. So it's a lot easier to pick up. And I just feel like it's cleaner that way. Like if you get all of the bits and, you know, stuff out of the bag first, and then you wash it, you're really just trying to, you know, clean like the surface areas on the inside and just giving it like a good wash, as opposed to really trying to thoroughly clean every little bit. If I feel like the bag is extra dirty, what I'll do after I vacuum it is I'll flip the bag inside out. It is kind of difficult to get the bags to flip inside out, but you can definitely do it. And I've done it on very large bags like the Coach Stewart's bag, and I've also done it on fairly small bags like the pocket bag. So the reason why I do that is because these Coach bags are all unlined leather inside, and they are kind of like pieced together. And then where you have those joints in the seams, it's where it collects like the most dust and lint on the inside. I don't know if you can see this, but you know, like right here at this corner there, that's gonna have like a lot of dirt and dust. And then also because the bag is like sewn here with a little flap there, like the extra fabric or the extra leather, a lot of like dirt and dust will collect in there as well. So if I feel like the bag is extra dirty, I'll flip the bag completely inside out. That way I can, you know, really get all of the dirty stuff out of the bag. All right, so then the next step that I do is I thoroughly wash the bag. And then what I do here is I get some dish soap. So you can use just your typical dish soap. The kind that I happen to have is the 7th generation dish soap. But by no means do you need to use any sort of like all natural dish soap. This just happens to be the kind that I have at home, so I'm just using it. But you can use any brand like Dawn or generic store brand. Anything is fine. I'll put in about 1/4 to 1/2 of a normal spoon sized amount into the water, and I put it into the sink under running water. That way the water helps the soap to bubble and sud, and then it creates like a soapy water. For washing vintage Coach bags, I would recommend using lukewarm water. I wouldn't use water that's too hot, and I wouldn't use water that's completely cold. I like to use lukewarm because I feel like the warm water kind of disinfects a little bit more, but I avoid using super hot water because when you wash these vintage Coach bags, a little bit of the dye does come out. So you'll see that the water is a little bit darker, and it's not because the bag is super dirty. The water just tends to turn whatever color your bag is. And that's, again, because a little bit of the dye comes out. So once you have a sink full of soapy water, just drench the entire bag in the water. Now, I know this might sound a little bit scary to some of you because it's kind of counterintuitive to put leather in water, but vintage Coach bags are absolutely safe to do that. Today, I'm cleaning a dark bag, but I've done this before on like lighter brown colored bags as well as white colored bags. So absolutely do not worry about it. The water will not stain your bag. It's perfectly fine. The leather will dry completely evenly. Now, you just want to make sure that the bag is completely drenched in water, and then what I'll also do is I will fill up all of the pockets with water. And then what I do is I take either a toothbrush, like an old toothbrush, or you can just use your hand, and then, you know, just kind of run it like along the surface of the inside of the bag, just to loosen up any dirt that might be stuck in the unlined leather, and then also just to, you know, give the bag a good scrub down. After I've done that, I leave the bag in the soapy water just to sit and soak for about 20 minutes. Leaving it in the soapy water for about 20 to 30 minutes really guarantees that all of the dirt and the lint really loosen up from the leather and get washed out. So after 20 minutes, I will completely empty the water in the sink, and then I will run the bag under cold water just to kind of give it like a rinse. And then once I've rinsed it out, I'll fill the sink back up with water, and then again, I'll use lukewarm water for this. Then I'll re-dunk the bag completely in the water. Basically just submerging it completely in the water again, and then I'll leave it for another 20 minutes. And the reason why I do that is because I just want to make sure that all of the soap in the leather is completely rinsed out. So I leave the bag in clean water for about 20 minutes, and then I drain the sink, and then again, I run the bag under cold water. And then after, you know, I feel like the bag is clean of all the soap, I take the bag, lay it out on a towel, and then I take another towel, and then I just start to gently pat the bag. Once I'm done giving the bag an overall pat down with a towel, I'll take another smaller dry towel, I'll fold it up, and I'll put it on the inside of the bag, and then I'll just lay the bag flat with the towel inside, and then just let it sit like that for a day. It generally takes about like 2 to 3 days for a vintage Coach bag to like completely dry out. And then what I do is each day I will flip the bag. So, you know, initially I always start with the bag on its back with the flap open and flat. And then, you know, on the second day, like if I wash the bag at night, the next morning what I'll do is I'll put the bag upright and again still have like a little towel in it. The reason why I would recommend putting like a little towel in the bag is because it helps the bag retain its shape as it's drying. So if you buy a vintage Coach bag that's kind of like misshapen, do not worry about that at all. You can totally reshape the bag through like the cleaning and drying process. So once my bag has completely dried out, then the next step I do is condition the bag. And for conditioning the bag, I use two different products depending on how dry the leather is. So the first product that I use is a leather conditioner. This one is the Chamberlain's Leather Milk Formula #1, and it's supposed to condition and rejuvenate leather. So with the Chamberlain's, it comes in like a couple of different formula numbers. I think it comes in like formula #1, 2, 3. I haven't used any of the other ones before. I just use the formula #1 and it works really, really well. It smells like almonds and it's just super gentle, and I feel like it just conditions the bag really, really well. The leather tends to also soak it up really well, so your bag doesn't feel like sticky or tacky or anything like that. And I also feel like it soaks in pretty quickly also. I feel like once I've put this conditioner over the leather bag, it takes about 30 minutes to really settle in. And then you can, you know, pretty much immediately start using the bag. So I just picked this one up off of Amazon, and I think it was about $16 to $20. But it works really well. And then if the bag is really, really dry, especially like around the edges of the bag, if you see kind of like scuff marks, or if the bag has kind of like lost some color on the edges, then I will go in after the conditioner has dried with this Chamberlain's Leather Milk. So this one is a healing balm, and this is also really, really good for like scratches on any bag. So it just comes in like a little tin, and when you open it up, it is like a balmy, like a white clear balmy consistency. And then for this one, I tend to just use my finger because you don't really need that much of it, and I'll just put it like on the parts of the bag that I feel like need a little bit of extra attention. And this stuff takes a lot longer to soak in, and this stuff is really, really oily, and it actually smells like coconut oil. Like it almost smells like it's just coconut oil. So I don't really know what the ingredients are in this thing. It doesn't say in the box. I also got this off of Amazon, so you could probably check the ingredients there. But it's very thick. It feels just like coconut oil. I'm pretty sure it's like primarily coconut oil. So yeah, I don't recommend using this on all of your bag. I think it's a little bit too much. It's really, really just, I think good for like parts that need a little bit of extra moisture. After I'm done conditioning my bag, I just let it sit there. It usually sits overnight because nighttime is really the only time that I have to clean my bags. So yeah, I'll just let it sit overnight, and then the next morning the bag is pretty much good to go. But like I said, if you just give your bag like 30 minutes, you can, you know, use it right away after you condition it. But if you're gonna use the healing balm on it, I would say you might want to give your bag like an hour. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it to be helpful. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe if you're interested in fashion and luxury. I post videos every single week, so if you don't want to miss out, definitely subscribe. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I will be linking down in the description box below the blog post that goes with this video and just goes through the steps very quickly for your future reference when you're actually cleaning your bag. And in the blog post, I also have links and details for the products that I've mentioned in this video today. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.